You have a very high sense of entitlement in which your background, your physical aesthetics do not cover the wagers in which you require these men to bring to the table. It just doesn't make sense. Hey guys, a long time no see. Today I felt like making a video about some crap that I saw this Delulu woman. Like, it honestly just gets worse and worse with every video, but we're gonna look at this video. She's trying to defend somebody that is completely defenseless in this case. But don't forget to like and subscribe if you're here. Leave me a comment and tell me what you think. Let's just get into it. I mean, shall we?
So I'm watching this video of this like 52-year-old woman on a date with this guy, and he's just now finding out that she lives in a motel. And he's basically saying to her, I wish you would have told me that from the beginning. Now, they're not even on the first date. They're on a meet and greet. So technically she is telling him from the beginning. But he's telling her that she should have just wrote that on her profile. And she's like, why? I gotta write it on my profile. He then suggests to her that she should get her life together first before she starts dating, right?
It's our first time meeting. And let them give y'all a look. This man say, I shouldn't be dating because I don't have an address. Because I live in a motel. I shouldn't be dating. So I want to make sure that all y'all can see. Y'all need to know this man. Y'all need to know. Because he's playing games. He's judging me.
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, this is a meet and greet. You didn't say that in your profile. You didn't say, you didn't say it though.
But why would I put that in my profile?
You need to let people know that you're staying in a motel and you're homeless right now.
Okay, but
you want to sit up here and try dating, and and then number one, how old are you and you recording? You like recording me at your age.
I'm recording y'all because I want y'all to know this is a taker right here. Apparently he trying to take.
A take?
Why does it matter? Why dating? You got a place to stay, right?
Dating.
You have a place to stay, right?
You're home. I'm trying to say, but you're dating.
I'm 53 years old.
Yeah, but if you're homeless and dating, you need to probably work on yourself before you start dating.
I got a good job. I make almost 6 figures.
You make 6 figures?
Yeah.
Okay.
I work hard. I struggled for many years. I'm not ashamed of it, but I got blessed. I got a good job. I make good money. As you see, I'm dressed professional. I got me a new ride over there.
Yeah,
like, I'm making steps. I'm making progress.
It's okay, but you're trying to dating.
So because I don't have an address, I don't have a house, I don't deserve love, is what you're trying to say?
But, I mean, you kind of need to let people know that ahead of time to make sure they want to deal with something.
Okay,
like
well,
that's what you want to do.
Hey,
that's fine.
I felt like it's not nothing for me to put on my profile, but I did feel comfortable enough, my bad, because I felt comfortable enough to let him know my situation, the struggles that I have rose above, because I'm rising above, baby. I'm going to have me a place to stay.
I'm not going to do all this arguing. And you can record me.
Y'all look at him, y'all look at him.
You can record, you can do whatever you want to do.
Don't.
You should let people know that you're homeless before you start dating.
They should have let me know that you got that old-fashioned thinking, like, yeah, whatever. Y'all check him out.
You're dating and you're homeless.
Whatever.
You shouldn't tell people that.
You missing out on a good one, baby. I can tell you that much. Peace.
Now I've been thinking about this for 6 months.
I'm just gonna interrupt really quickly. I'm gonna let her talk again because trust me, this is the whole reason we're watching to hear what Sansa Ray crazy butt had to say. But I just want to say that, do you guys remember when Kevin Samuels would interview women, especially women over 30, mid-30s, 40s, 50s, and they would be talking as if they're still in their early 20s, like they still haven't have crap established. They're still thinking as if some guy, Prince Charming, is gonna ride in on a horse and rescue them or something. No, when you're past a certain age and you're in the dating world, men are going to be looking for a partner at that point. If he wanted to date and end up having to come out of pocket and take care of somebody, then why wouldn't he date younger, more attractive women? That guy, probably around 40s, 50s, just like her. Maybe even, they're probably both over 50, but either way, they would probably be a good match had they both been established. Like, he was probably established. He probably had a home and a career going for himself. She claims she has a career going for herself, talking about she makes almost 6 figures. Now, that's unlikely, unless she just got the job or something. But how are you homeless? You're either terrible with your money or you just, at over 50 years old, got your life together. And yeah, he's right. You do need more time to get yourself established, because if a guy, like I said, wants to come in and have to cash out on everything, pay for your place to stay, pay for your wit, pay for this, pay for that, pay your bills, then he's going to get a young hottie. Most older men, if they're dating younger, more attractive women, they have no problem coming out of pocket. They know what it is, because they know at that point the younger girl has her options too. If she wants to be taken care of, she has to date older, because guys her own age aren't already established. You just have to know where you fall in the dating world and your place in life. And if you have a man who is equal to you in age and maybe even income, and he's saying, hey, you need to get your life together before I want to date you, then maybe you should take that advice. If he wanted to take care of somebody, he can date younger women who are much more attractive and at least at the end of the day get good sex. I mean, let's be real.
Now, I've been living in a hotel for 6 months, and on Facebook, I used to post this post every day that said, I'm looking for a husband to buy me breakfast every morning, just because I want someone to share breakfast with, right? Now, a lot of men assume that meant I just want to do it with money, but it's literally that. It's kind of like a love language. Like, I want a man to spend breakfast with. I want him to buy for me, maybe on his way to work or whatever. It's just something that we do with each other every day. Doesn't mean there aren't other meals in the day that I can actually cook. It just means that breakfast is the meal that I would like for him to buy for me. And people used to always say, don't you think you should get yourself together before you start dating? And when I saw this video on Instagram, on the on-site account, I saw that inside of the comment section. People was like, why don't you get your life together first before you start dating? Now, what I noticed about a lot of men who find out that I'm single and I'm living in a hotel, the first thing that they want to do is take care of me. Men have offered to let me move into their homes. Men have offered to give me a deposit to move somewhere. They want.
This is where I have to stop her because she's getting way out of hand here. Like, ma'am, you're 45. You know, maybe the days where you had a whole bunch of men in your DMs trying to take care of you, those are well far behind you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have spent the last 8 years in a hotel. Does she forget the fact that we know her history? Like, bro, if you had a bunch of men knocking down at your door ready to take care of you, you would have been married. Somebody would have been wiped you up, maybe even given you another child by now. But no, you're still taking care of the one illegitimate child that you had 8 years ago by a man that was married and who wanted nothing to do with you and nothing to do with that child. And come to find out, the child has special needs on top of it. So it's like, not only are you homeless, so you're in a financial predicament, but you also have a child that comes with extra needs. So it's like, any guy coming up and signing up for that, what is he getting out of it? You're 45. You're probably past the point in having children safely now. Being realistic in our thinking, you know, and it's like, who are you trying to convince? You want someone to buy you breakfast every day? That's not realistic. Well, then what if the man said, okay, I'm willing to buy you breakfast every day? And it could be Tim Hortons breakfast. It could be McDonald's breakfast. It could be Bob Evans breakfast. It could be, I don't even know, IHOP, whatever. If he's willing to spend the money, then you must be willing to cook lunch and dinner every day. What if he said that? And I don't want to lift a finger in the house. You better make sure that house is spick and span. Are you capable of that? Ma'am, are you capable of cooking every single day since you want somebody to buy you breakfast every day? What meals are you willing to buy? This is why we really do need another Kevin Samuels. I swear, like I've been saying it, delusional thinking like this is exactly why you have spent the last 8 years in a motel or hotel or whatever you're in. And exactly why the government is taking care of you and your son. And exactly why your child's father departed from you even before the kid was born. Because you have a very high sense of entitlement in which your background, your physical aesthetics do not cover the wagers in which you require these men to bring to the table. It just doesn't make sense.
Wanted to get a lease for me or a mortgage for me. Usually that's the response that men give me who are genuinely interested in me. I'm 45 years old. So it could be my age group, it could be who I am, how I look, you know, you never know. I'm in survival mode. I'm not in soft life mode right now, right? Living in a hotel doesn't disqualify you from dating, okay? But it does mean that you need to be extra intentional about who, why, and how you date. And if you meet someone who feels some type of way like this man feels, then that just means it's not for him. It doesn't mean that you don't belong with anyone. It just means that he's not your cup of tea. And that's not what he's looking for. And that's okay. I know for me, if a man is coming into my life, he can't be bringing more stress. He can't just be sitting here comfortable while I'm sitting here fighting battles. He has to be fighting the battle with me. And he also has to understand that my current situation does not define my worth as a whole, as a woman. It's just my current situation. It has ups and downs, it's hills and valleys. It just is what it is. Anyone who's lived life knows that. Traditionally, men have always been a provider. So being a single woman and not having a man, naturally, that feels kind of strange. Women living on their own, you know what I mean? But I think people are so comfortable and so used to women being Miss Independent that anytime a woman isn't, it's a surprise, right? Like I can sit here and I can be self-sufficient all day long. But I am an interdependent woman. I'm built to have a partnership with a man. I'm still worthy of love.
She claims that she's interdependent, meaning that she's supposed to have a partner in this, somebody who she's supposed to rely on. But she just spent like literally the last decade alone. Like what? See what I mean about not making any sense? Like if you were the kind of woman that spent most of her life, like say you're one of those girls that gets married right out of high school. You're 18, you get married, you start having a family, and your husband's the main breadwinner, and you stay at home raising the children, and then you went through a divorce. But this is 20 years after you've already been married and dependent upon your husband. Then yeah, that's a shocker. And then most people would understand you saying something like, I'm used to being taken care of, because you just spent the last 20 years being taken care of. If you're dependent on anything, honey, it's the US government. hotel vouchers, food stamps, Medicaid, whatever the case may be. We know for at least the last 8 years you've been single and in and out of hotels and cars. So what are you talking about? You're used to being with a man and you're used to being taken care of. Unless your man that you're talking about, your fictitious man, is the U.S. government, Uncle Sam, then perhaps I believe you.
Companionship, laughter, connection. I'm a full-grown woman. I'm just rebuilding my life. But I still want to be seen and I want to be sexy and I want to, the presence of a man. I've been celibate for 8 years. So right now is actually the first time I actually feel comfortable with dating completely. Should a woman in my position date? Well, yeah. If you're healed and you're high vibed and you are spiritually armored, date. If you're emotionally grounded, date. You don't attach your life to a man because life is hard right now. Like, if that's your reasons, then you should be dating. Only date if you're not trying to escape your situation by using him. Like, you're trying to use romance as a way for you to get out of it. And honestly, that's the advice men gave me. Men always told me I was too beautiful to be by myself. I need to just go find me a man. That's what the average man has said to me, like, you need to go find you a man. And like, a man will easily take care of you. You're a decent woman, you're nice, you look good. If you're trying to escape your situation, go find you a man. I'm so confident.
She's sitting here with this like hairline that's like way the freak back here. We don't even know where her hair actually begins and where the wig's installed. That's how far back her freaking forehead is. And yet you want us to believe that people are just walking up to you and telling you you're so beautiful. Like, this is what makes people like question your sanity, and it makes people like raise an eyebrow at you, because it's like, we're looking at you and we're seeing quite actually an average woman. Your sexual marketplace value, believe it or not, that word still exists, even though Kevin Samuels is no longer here to use it. We can still manage to say sexual market value. And you have to understand where you fall in life. When I met my husband, when we actually started dating about 4 years ago, my sexual marketplace value was much higher than it is now. Number one, I only had 1 kid, versus the fact that I'm about to have 4 by the time Halloween comes. Okay, so sexual marketplace value is based on attractiveness, it's based on the amount of children you have, it's based on your age and all kind of stuff. So not only was I younger and I only had 1 kid, I was a little smaller then. Of course my sexual marketplace value was higher then. I can honestly say that I recognize the fact that, okay, I'm older now, I've got a few extra pounds, which I'm going to lose as soon as this kid is born, trust and believe. But it's like one of those things where even if I do lose the weight, my sexual marketplace value will never be what it was when I was 33. You have to understand, ma'am, you're a 2-time baby mama, you have no husbands, and you are 45, you're definitely heavier than you probably were at 25. So it's like one of those things where you have to understand that your sexual marketplace value is not the same. There's a lot of guys that aren't trying to sign up to take care of another person's child. And you at that. Like, it'd be different if you had your own money and you were coming to the table like well established, and it'd be like, oh, well, she's straight, she doesn't need anything from me. Granted, her kid's special needs, but she's financially able to take care of them by herself. She's got them in programs, trying to help them and stuff like that. But everything you're receiving, everything that you're using is government aid. Am I wrong? Leave it in the comment section. You tell me. Like, just if a guy doesn't want to be in your videos, that's fine, because not everybody wants to be on social media, and I get that. But like, they're not even physically there. They're not helping you. They're not providing anything for you to the point where you're completely government sufficient and begging online for your watchers and your viewers to donate to you and your son, coming up with fictitious autism programs and awareness groups and GoFundMe's trying to get money that you're probably just using for your kid, not for the cause of autism whatsoever, which I think is quite wrong. Just be real. You need the money to survive. You're not trying to better your son's or trying to better awareness about autism.
I'm like honest about where I am and still proud of myself at the same time for my own personal growth. I'm looking for a man who's emotionally intelligent, who is stable himself and has integrity. It doesn't mean that he's perfect. It doesn't mean that he didn't have ups and downs in his life. I would prefer a man who's had some ups and downs as well, so you can understand where I'm coming from. If your house is under renovation, right? Think of it like this. The only man allowed in is someone who won't knock the walls down, who won't track dirt up and through, but someone who won't critique the blueprint or misjudge you. Someone who's going to respect your space and ask, should he take his shoes off before he enters, whether that place is a hotel room or not. And yes, you should date with a level of discernment. You can be getting your life together and dating someone at the same time, simultaneously. When you fall in love with someone, it usually just happens. Love doesn't wait for a perfect time to show up. Whenever you decide, whether you decide to date, if you are in this type of situation, or you decide to not date people who are inside of this situation, whatever you do, protect your peace. It's up to you at the end of the day. There's somebody out there for everybody.
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop.
I have to poop.
Ooh. That was a weird ad to pop up right after that. Well, anyways, you guys, I want to know what you think about this whole thing. You guys just heard my opinion on it. I think she's completely delusional, and it's just weird that she's still trying to convince us that her life is something that it's not, or that there's so many men trying to beat down her door. Because if that was the case, ma'am, then where are these men? Where are they? Like, how come nobody is in your life helping you? Why are you asking strangers online to provide for you and your son if you have all these men that are so willing to take care of you? Like, it's like she just says stuff. My whole point is the man was right. First of all, that woman was way too old to be pulling out her phone trying to go viral. And even though she did, ultimately, it's like one of those things where I'm pretty sure that doesn't help you in your dating situation whatsoever, because most men are going to look at that and think, oh, she's one of those pull her phone out and start recording types. If you're going to date somebody your own age, they better come to the table at least with what you got. We're all willing to compromise a little. You know, every woman has this idea of like marrying a millionaire and never having to work again, right? But we already know about the fact that those are like less than 10% of the population, and most of the time those guys only date certain types of women who are perfect 10s. And if you don't fall into that category, the likelihood that you're going to meet and attract a guy like that and keep him around and keep his attention and not have to deal with a whole bunch of drama with it is very small. And so if women have to ultimately compromise in marriage, then so do men. All men are visually inclined when they get on the dating scene. They first want a woman that they find physically attractive. The more attractive, the better. But then they start getting to know her, and it's like if her personality sucks, if she's a complete stuck-up jerk, or if she's mean and nasty, those are the things that are going to turn him off. Or if she's really bad with money and all she wants to do is just spend yours, those are also red flags, and you'll have to get her out of there. Let's say you find a woman that's not a perfect 10, maybe she's a 7 or she's an 8 or something, and she's good with money and she's family oriented and she's down to earth and she's a good person, then that's the one that they usually marry. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm not going to get that perfect 10. I don't have enough money to get the perfect 10, because those top 10% guys are getting the perfect 10s. And then the women have to realize, well, I'm not a perfect 10, so I'm not going to get that top 10% of guys that's out there. So it's like everybody has to kind of meet in the middle, right? If you've been hopping from hotel to hotel, vehicle to hotel, car, somebody's couch, flopping around, that's not a good look, especially if it's been almost a decade. Like, at some point you need a residence of your own, even if it's just an apartment. Well, anyway, you guys, you tell me what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, that's my husband's big old head. All right, see you guys.